Welcome to the jungle, everyone. This is a special live episode. I got Mikey, Saints fan for life, here with me today. Everybody, go check out his channel. He just told me if you're into basketball, he just started a new channel called Mikey Pelicans fan for life. So if you like basketball, go check him out there too.
Yeah.
When did the Pelicans change their name? Quick, we'll get into power rankings, but I had this question, but we need to go live. So, but when did the Pelicans change their name, Mikey?
I think around the 2011, 2012 season. Whenever we drafted Anthony Davis, like right before there, we changed our name.
That was after you were born, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was 4 years old when you changed our name.
Yeah. So you're not Mikey Pelicans fan for life, because at one time you were a Hornets fan.
I mean, there's actually a time where I just straight up didn't even watch basketball because I was getting pissed off too much. There was one time we went on a 4-game winning streak, but then I realized that there's 82 games in a year. So I'm like, we're still going to screw this up. Last year we were the 1 seed, but then we decided to lose multiple games in a row, like 10 games in a row. Then we fell down all the way out of the playoffs, and then we had to go into the play-in, and then the Thunder decided to screw you because CJ McCollum forgot how to catch the damn ball.
I am also regularly pissed off at basketball, particularly the NBA, because I grew up a Seattle Supersonics fan, and you know that they don't exist anymore. And that was bullshit why they don't exist anymore. But I am a Kentucky Wildcats fan, and that's been. I'm going to move my mic closer. I am a Kentucky Wildcats fan, and that has been quite kind to me over my life. I've only seen them win one championship, but I was alive for 2 of them in the 90s.
Yeah.
So
this is because I went and LSU won a national championship, but that's football. But I never watched any basketball.
This is not the Battle of Ohio podcast, by the way, everybody. I just didn't. I didn't have time to make like a custom overlay, so we're just using the Battle of Ohio podcast overlay here, and that like this isn't Mike. This isn't Joe Varell, by the way. This is Mikey. I'm sure you know that, but I felt like I had to put a little bit of an extra thing there anyway. But anyway, let's go ahead and start talking about these power rankings, because that's what we're here to do. By the way, before we get started, I see you there, Richard. And I'm actually glad you showed up. Are you sure we should let Mikey cook? Well, I mean, we're not doing any cooking here, but as far as power rankings go, we'll see if he's any good at making power rankings. I haven't really.
Yeah, because I'm not a good cooker. I am not a good cook.
I'm a damn good cook. I am a damn good cook. I make a mean-ass steak. I'll tell you that right now. But, Richard, I appreciate you showing up. I'm sorry for forgetting to put your thing in my video, but I made you a post on my community tab to try to make up for it. I got a lot going on, and I totally forgot to put that in the video. But, yes, that was awesome that you predicted the exact score of that Sunday night game, man. That was really awesome. All right.
There was one time where I nearly picked the Saints game right, but it was for preseason, and I didn't get it right anyway.
I don't know if I've predicted. God damn, this is my 3rd season scoring, streaming Bengals games. Like, and I was actually doing the Battle of Ohio podcast the year before that. But
it was my 2nd season streaming Saints games.
I don't believe I've actually predicted the Bengals score right. I've gotten it really close a bunch. Like, there's been some games where like the one where I predicted the Bengals to beat the Cardinals 30-0, and that didn't come, like, obviously not, or I predicted the Bengals to like beat the crap out of the Titans, and instead they beat the crap out of us. But there's been a lot of games that I've been off by like only like a handful of points.
I remember that Saints Packers game, and I didn't really guess the score, but I said that if the Saints scored 17 points, we're not going to be able to win that game. We scored 17 points, should have won, but did not win that game. So I technically got it right, but I did not predict the score. But technically, I got the score right, but I did not predict the score. So,
well, you predict the outcome.
Yeah, I predicted the outcome. So that's like the closest I've ever gotten.
Looking back, that's kind of rough that you guys lost to the Packers, because they're terrible right now.
I know, they're like literally, man. I remember as soon as we lost that game, I didn't want to watch football. I didn't want to hear about football. I wanted to forget football was even a sport.
Right.
I wanted to choke myself out. Well, I did choke on a meatball that week, so I guess I kind of did that.
Yeah, well, don't do that. I'd prefer you didn't do that.
Yeah, We'll see.
Okay.
I might choke Pete Carmichael out, but
Yeah.
we'll see about that.
Let's go ahead and jump into these power rankings, though. So, this is
Oh,
just a preview, by the way. These are not these can't possibly be finalized power rankings because as we speak, I believe. Wait a minute.
yeah, the Lions are
Yeah, there we
playing, and
go.
I'm thinking about
Lions,
bumping them down right now.
Lions, and Raiders are playing right now, and curiously, the score is only 9-7. I thought the Lions were going to run away with this one, but
Right now,
I don't know.
I'm
We'll see
thinking
what
about
happens.
bumping the Lions down right now, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
We'll see what happens, but this is just a preview. I am still going to do an episode of power rankings this week, and I'm going to release my final power rankings in that one. But this is just a preview, kind of like showing you what my thoughts are so far, and then where Mikey's got everything at right now. So let's start with the bottom three. And I referred to this last year as I forget what I referred to it as last year, but now I call it
Tank time.
relegation. Tank time. That's right. I called it tank time last year.
Yeah, because I looked at some of your videos before, so.
Yeah. It's relegation this year, and it's just simply because the way these teams are playing, I don't know if they should be in the NFL. So it looks like for the most part we agree on this one. I got here. Let me actually throw it up on the screen here. So this is just a preview of my power rankings right now. Again, it's not finalized, but that's mine, and then that's Mikey's right here. Mikey's got it set up in two, but right here, here's his relegation category. You got a few more teams in it than I do, but I also notice that, like for example, you think much more highly of the Cardinals than I do. Can you explain that one? Like I've got them as the worst team in the NFL, and you've got them oh, they could make the playoffs.
Well, you see, a part of me wanted to put them in relegation, but I thought about it a little more, and I feel like because the Cardinals, they've only lost a couple games by pretty out margins, and I'm like, if the Cardinals had a good had Kyler Murray, for example, they probably win those games. So I feel like if Murray was playing, the Cardinals probably would have beat a team like the Commanders. They probably would have beat the Giants. They probably would beat the Ravens yesterday. So I feel like the Ravens, they're about where I thought that they were going to be last year, but I thought they were going to be worse this year. But hey, they're proving me wrong. They're the best losers of all time.
Yeah, I don't I I don't think they're that good.
I don't think they're that good either. I just feel there's one more.
The other thing is I mean, maybe I'm being a little too harsh having them as the worst team in the NFL, but I don't believe in Kyler Murray at all. He's better than Josh Dobbs, obviously, but I feel like when Kyler Murray comes back, it's going to be almost as bad. You're going to maybe get a little bit better quarterback play, but even then, I don't know if it's going to if the results are going to be that much better. I think you're going to have more plays where it's wow, Kyler Murray did what? But at the same time, you're still going to get a bunch of interceptions. You're still going to get a bunch of, he's not looking at the field properly and stuff like that. I just don't think Kyler Murray is, when they took him in the first round, I was why? He's talented. There's a lot of stuff to work with there, but I mean, I don't know if he's a first round type of guy. And then he went to the Cardinals with Cliff Kingsbury, who had a losing record in college. And I was just I thought that was just a disaster, to be honest. I know he had Patrick Mahomes, and now I think it's kind of like the Bill Brady, Bill Belichick discussion. Who was responsible for that winning, for all that winning? Well, it seems like it was Tom Brady, and in the case of Cliff Kingsbury, it seems like it was Patrick Mahomes who was the reason they won any games.
Yeah, Zion, why did you airball that? But yeah, nice block, but yeah, Kingsbury. I'm not gonna lie. After what year was it? I want to say 2022. No, it was the year before that. It was I think 2021, where the Cardinals were 7-0, and I thought Kingsbury was the best head coach in the NFL. Well, he shut me up in the worst way possible.
I did not believe in that experiment from the beginning. I'll be honest with you. All right. So let's move up. So as far as the rest of the the differences between the bottom three categories. I always say there's no point in really paying that much attention to them because like most of those teams aren't almost definitely, and in week 8, most of these teams almost definitely are making the playoffs. Like I mean, you've got some teams in the third tier, almost their category. So for me, here, let me put it back up. For me, I've got right now, I've got Commanders, Rams, maybe not the Rams. I'm not sure yet, but I'm still thinking about where I got the Rams. Broncos. I've been saying all year I think the Broncos are going to be better this year, and maybe this is where they kind of start getting it going. I don't know. Vikings, Buccaneers, Browns, and then for you, you've got we agree on the Browns. You've got the Texans. I believe a little bit more in the Texans than you do, but I don't have them too far off. And then the Saints. I did not expect me to have the Saints higher than you. That's weird. I've actually got the Saints in the playoff hopefuls category. I think y'all make the playoffs.
Well, when you watch the Saints for 8 straight weeks, 8 straight weeks, you would understand why I had them in almost there.
I mean, that's fair, I suppose. But like, I mean, honestly, I think the Saints win that division because, like, I mean, the Falcons aren't like if the Falcons are benching Desmond Ridder, then they're giving up on the season, frankly.
Well, you see, in order to win football games, you gotta score points. And Carmichael does not know how to drive an offense down the field.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I mean, I suppose that's fair enough. But any other major distinctions in these final 3 here? Not really. I've got the Broncos a little higher than you. I've got the Rams a little higher than you. I'm still flabbergasted that you have the Cardinals so high, but whatever. You got the Bears as the worst team in the NFL.
It can't be a power rankings without controversial takes.
I mean, that's the thing. That's part of why we all love them. Yeah. So I think that's about all we have. That's like particularly egregiously different. So let's go ahead and move on to the teams that matter then. So Jeff says, "Dang it, I missed it." What did you miss, Jeff? We're here.
You missed a field goal. Blake Gruby did that too.
Well, no, we're here, Jeff. I'm not sure what you missed, but we here.
You probably thought that since we were wrapping up at the bottom, we thought that we were ending the stream.
I don't know. We're just wrapping up the bottom. We're getting through the teams that nobody gives a shit about. That's what we're doing right now. No, I don't. I mean, I just have that. Okay, so here's Jeff's comment. It says, "Dang it, I missed it." Yeah. So you didn't miss much. We're still here. You missed the beginning. But okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the teams that matter then. So you have only 12 teams in these top categories, which,
yep.
I mean, it's fair. Like I like keeping my categories a little more even. So I have I have 16 total teams, and that's mostly because I want 14 playoff teams. Like these are like if the playoffs ended today, 14 teams are making the playoffs. So I got to have at least 14 teams in my top 2 categories. And then, like I said, also to keep it even, I also include teams that I think they're probably playoff teams, but you just got to prove it to me a little bit more for me to be absolutely sure.
I feel like I put a couple teams in almost there. Or basically, I feel like a couple of the teams that are in almost there will eventually be making the playoffs. I just don't know if I believe them in them to like be making the long run.
Well, you see, that's exactly how I feel about the Steelers. For that matter, you've actually got the Steelers higher than I do. You've got them according to you, they're definitely going to make the playoffs. So for me, it's like the Steelers. What the Steelers really have going for them is they have Mike Tomlin. Like I hate it. It fills me with pain and agony to admit it, but it's true. Mike Tomlin is a mastermind, and I don't know how. I don't know what to say about Mike Tomlin, but
I put the Steelers in playoff hopefuls like 10 minutes before the show. I don't know why.
That's fair, but it's just like, dude, Kenny Pickett hasn't been good this year, and now he's going to be hurt.
I mean, Pickett's hurt right now.
We got Mitch Trubisky going in there, so like. I just don't see them like I don't know. I have been saying though that I think all 4 teams are going to make it. So maybe I'm a little lower on the Steelers than I should be. Maybe I should have them up a little higher than this. But And the Browns, actually, for that matter. Maybe I should reorder that a little bit. I don't know. But the
Yeah.
Steelers and Browns did both lose this week, so I did have to knock them down.
Yeah.
So, where do you have the Falcons? I'm curious about that. You don't have them in the playoffs at all.
Never. I would never do that.
You got them on.
Ice.
You got them on thin ice. You got them on the second worst category. Like,
Yep.
I mean, I'll grant it. Like, I don't really Maybe I have them too high because I think them benching Desmond Ridder is a sign that their season's basically over.
Yeah, I've got it on thin ice. Honestly, I don't. If the Falcons start sucking, which obviously I hope that they do, but I feel like Arthur Smith, he's gonna be in question. Desmond Ridder's gonna be in question, even if he even plays another game. Who else?
I don't think.
I mean, they got Beaton going for them, but other than that, they don't really have like one superstar. Oh, let me check out him. Let's see how he's doing.
What do you mean by Arthur Smith's going to be in question? Because like I don't think Arthur Smith's job is on the line.
Well, I don't really say that like his job's on the line. I'm just saying that if the Falcons don't start winning, he's not going to be there for the long run.
Jeff's asking what actually happened to Kenny. So, from my understanding, I don't have a full understanding of what's going on. But to what I think he might have like he might have broken his ribs or something. I'm not sure because they're talking about like a potential couple week timeline, and they did say it was a rib injury. So,
Yeah.
he's out. Mitch Trubisky's the guy tentatively for now. That's basically all that's going on there. And honestly, I said I think all four teams are going to make the playoffs. I don't think that Mitch Trubisky is all that much different. Like, because like Steelers fans, like I was actually, this is a weird, crazy time for me. I was actually trying to encourage Steelers fans on Twitter the other day because they were like, oh, the season's over, Kenny Pickett, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, guys, like, Kenny Pickett kind of sucks. Like, I know Mitch Trubisky isn't any good, but I don't think Kenny Pickett's any better. So like, if y'all are winning now, you're probably going to keep winning. So,
who did they beat yesterday?
They lost. They lost to the Rams.
Oh, they lost to them? Oh, wait, no, they lost to Jaguars. That's right.
Oh, yeah, the Jaguar. They beat the Rams. They should have lost to the Rams. But this is what I'm talking
Honestly,
about.
I'm
They
glad the
just
Rams lost.
they win games that they have no business winning. They had no
And you know
business
what?
winning that Rams game. They just did.
Hey, that game was that game was kind of karma for the Rams, right? You thought it was gonna happen in 2018? And y'all just lucky it was a week 7 game, bro. Imagine having to go to the Super Bowl and then you get screwed.
I was about to say, how is that karma for the Rams? It was a week 7 game. Like, I don't think they care that much. Like, oh, like we karma for beating us in the Super Bowl. We beat you guys in the regular season. Ha 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 ha. But like, they got a Super Bowl. Like, what do they care?
Man, I hope. You know what I hope happens? I hope the Rams and the Saints play in the NFC Championship game, and I hope that
that's
the
not
Saints
gonna happen.
start holding the crap out of the Rams, and the refs don't call a thing. Stupid.
So the Rams and the Saints. I'm just gonna make a prediction right now. The Rams and the Saints will not play again in the NFC Championship for the next 20 years. Now, I'm not saying neither team will make it. I'm saying those two teams together will not make it because one of those two teams is going to be bad.
If we just play in a playoff game, I hope. Even if we are not even playing the Rams, I hope the Rams get screwed super hard in the playoffs because y'all are like, oh, we won and we definitely deserve to win. No, y'all didn't. Y'all put up 3 points in the month. Y'all put 3 points up in the Super Bowl. We would have put up more than that. We would have beat the Patriots. There's no convincing me that we would have lost to the Patriots that year.
You would have lost to the Patriots.
No, we wouldn't.
Yeah, you would have.
The Saints are playing the best football I've ever seen them play.
Tom Brady's the GOAT.
Down.
Tom Brady's the GOAT. He had that year.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get back to the power rankings then. So, second tier then. You've got, because you do them differently than me. So you got 49ers, Dolphins, Lions, Bills. And for me, in my second tier, I got Jags, Seahawks, Bengals, Bills, Cowboys. Where do you have the you got the Bengals number 2, bro?
Yeah.
Bro, Mikey, let's go.
I've been believing. I was believing in the Bengals before. Like literally, I remember like before they even made the Super Bowl, and I know I have no proof, so y'all probably gonna call me, stupid, but and I was not really on YouTube back then, but before the Bengals even made the Super Bowl, I was high on them because I believed in Joe Burrow ever since he brought LSU national title. I said Joe Burrow was going to a couple Super Bowls.
Now, look, I do have something to say about that. So right, I don't want to be clear. Tentatively, and this is probably staying the same. I say these power rankings are currently a work in progress. But the Bengals being at number 8, I'm pretty much probably going to keep. I'm not going to raise them that much higher than that because, they played well, but I need to see a little bit more consistently before I start putting them up with the Eagles and the Chiefs and the Dolphins. Yes, they're that caliber of team.
Those teams have not been consistent really either.
So. Huh? Well, I know, but none of them got destroyed by the Titans. We got destroyed by the Titans.
Destroyed by the Buccaneers, if that makes you feel better.
What the Saints did?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but nobody's putting the Saints in the top 3.
Oh.
You didn't. Yeah. You put them lower than I did.
Yeah, I still want to kick Pete Carmichael out the door myself, but that's a different story. Right. It's 3rd and 5. What do? We throw a Hail Mary.
So,
1st and 10. 3rd and 10. 4th and 10. We do Hail Mary.
Dude, you're wild.
Dude, it's 1st and 10, Hail Mary. 2nd and 10, Hail Mary. 3rd and 10, Hail Mary. 4th and 10. You know what we do? Hail Mary. With 20 seconds left in the damn game with 2 timeouts.
So real quick, I need to address this comment because the second I click off of it, I'm never going to be able to see it ever again because Jeff deleted the comment. I think I know why. But he said Bengals win the NFC.
What?
So I don't think that's
impossible.
So okay, I'm gonna go ahead and click off of this comment because his comment before that was Mikey's got some hot takes. But Jeff, I think that was the hottest take there is. I think Bengals winning the NFC. That's a hot take right there. I mean, I'll get behind it. Let's go. Bengals win the NFC. We're transferring.
When did the Bengals get into the NFC West? I thought they were in the AFC North. Did I not get the notification?
If the Bengals were in the NFC, it would make sense for them to be in the NFC West, right? Because I mean, you got you got the 49ers and the Rams. They got
we were in the NFC West
rivalries with them. Yeah, a long time ago before realignment.
Yeah.
And then who else is in the NFC West? Is the
Seahawks
and the Cardinals, right? So. We don't really have much history with the Seahawks and the Cardinals, but we got a lot of history. We got a lot of history with the 49ers. We have a little bit of history with the Rams.
But we have history with both of them.
But, I mean, we have almost zero history with anybody in the NFC South. Not really the NFC East and not really the NFC North. I mean, we always have interesting games with the Packers, but I mean, other than that, we don't really. So, I mean, if we were to be in a division, the only one that would make sense for us to be in would be the NFC West. And then geographically, that makes no sense, right?
Yeah.
Geographically, we're on
not
the east side of the country. Exactly.
New Orleans is not in the South. They're up north. We should be in the NFC. Or really, we should really be in the NFC East. To be honest. Or is East? Yeah, East is this way. We really should be in the NFC East. I'm so glad we're not. I'll take the NFC South.
All right, so let's see what else are interesting. So you still got the Chiefs as the number 1 team in the NFL. That's an interesting take. I want to.
Yeah, I feel like people are gonna have their slumps. Like for example, last year I'm not doing it again. I remember last year I said the Chiefs they were barely gonna make the playoffs. I'm not doing that again. I swear, bro. Because every single time I said the Chiefs are gonna lose, they always win somehow. Even if the team's 10 times better than them. The Chiefs, they were not the best team in the playoffs last year. We all know it.
Yeah, but here's the difference, though. The Chiefs, well, they won the Super Bowl, so I guess they technically were the best team in the playoffs. But
yeah, by eye test, they were not.
Well, yeah, but At the end of the day, eye test doesn't matter that much. Although I do think it matters a little bit for the Chiefs, though, because you got the Chiefs as the number one team in the NFL. I knocked them down to 4 for losing to the Broncos because I had them number one last week. And the reason I knocked them down is because, frankly, the Chiefs don't look that great. Like, I really think they're suffering from switching from Eric Bieniemy to Matt Nagy as their offensive coordinator. I don't think he's as good of an offensive coordinator as Eric Bieniemy was. Although, then again, Sam Howell's doing pretty good in Washington. So maybe Eric Bieniemy is a really good offensive coordinator. I don't know. But, I just don't think – Matt Nagy got fired in Chicago because he doesn't know how to use running quarterbacks. You know how he made his name in the NFL? By being the Chiefs offensive coordinator with Alex Smith, not Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Alex Smith is not a mobile quarterback. So, ergo – Matt Nagy doesn't make sense to be running this particular version of the Chiefs offense. I don't think. And I think you're starting to see that. And the Chiefs have gotten away this year by having a really good defense, but look what happens when the defense doesn't show up.
Yeah, I mean, out of the Chiefs, I put them at number 1 before they even played the Broncos, and I forgot to move them. Yeah. Did he make that? Oh my God!
Jeff says that was not serious. That I know it wasn't serious, Jeff, but I thought it was funny. That would just be the most Joe Burrow thing of all time, right? He's like, oh, you think I can't win the NFC while I'm on the Cincinnati Bengals? All right, bet. And then he just does it. Honestly, I'm shocked that we didn't win the Super Bowl in 21. When we went to the Super Bowl against the Rams, because frankly the offense was terrible and I did not expect that. But Joe Burrow had the game-winning play at the end of the game and just got sacked instead of actually making it, which that tells you how great Aaron Donald is. But it's just it would have been the most Joe Burrow thing of all time to win the Super Bowl that way. So I'm still kind of shocked that we didn't win.
Yeah, and I also did not expect that Nikhil Roby-Coleman was going to kill a receiver with no penalty. But hey, I guess things change, right?
Bro, that was 6 years ago. Move on.
I don't care. It still happened. You cannot erase history. Oh,
that was almost 8
this
years
dude
ago,
invented a light bulb years ago. But that was years ago, so we're going to stop light bulbs from ever happening. Nah, man, it still happened.
We're gonna stop.
Watch that game.
No, but the difference is light bulbs are still affecting our society today. The 2018 NFC Championship is only affecting you because you let it live in your mind. But it's not affecting the NFL. Every team is different than they were in 2018.
I know, but y'all got screwed in the Super Bowl. Well, a little bit, but. To be honest, Eli Apple screwed you that Super Bowl at the end, but screw that.
Eli Apple had some good plays and some bad plays. What really screwed us? People talk about the refs, and the refs made some bad calls, but arguably the refs also made a really bad call. They made more bad calls in favor of the Rams, but there were some bad calls in favor of the Bengals. T. Higgins had a face mask on I want to say Jalen Ramsey. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Jalen burnt to a toast Ramsey.
Yeah, well, actually, I don't think it was because Jalen was on Jamar Chase that whole game, so it must have been somebody else. But either way, T. Higgins had a face mask, and that didn't get called, and he got a touchdown. So it's not like the Bengals were completely just had the refs against them the whole game, but they definitely at the very end that PI on Logan Wilson was bullshit, and you know it, Rams fans, and I know it. And just because we got a touchdown earlier in that game doesn't mean that when the game was on the line, the refs made a game changer.
Rams always get luck of the refs. Rams always get luck of the refs. And we're both witnesses to it. And,
that's big market.
Man, you gotta let it go. I ain't letting that go. You know how much teams pray that they can get to the Super Bowl just for us to be screwed twice. People don't remember we got screwed in overtime too. Michael Thomas got held, but we're the blindfolds. If you look back at that game, Michael Thomas got held on that interception. But no, But no, when we talk about it, it's Drew Brees choked in overtime. He did not choke. The refs made him choke. That would have been a completed pass if the defender did not hold him while the ball was in the air.
Okay.
Stupid refs.
Okay. I'm glad you're passionate. I am. Okay, so another question I have for you is and okay, so I want to be clear. If I had done this, then people would be like crucifying me. I like people to have the torches and pitchforks out, like with the anti-homer spray and everything like that. So you got the Bengals at number 2, which we already talked about that. I think that's a little high for them right now. I think they are like frankly, I think the Bengals have maybe the best roster in the NFL. And if they can actually play up to their potential, they'll be number 1. But I just, I need to see it from them before I actually like go out and publish that. Yes, they in fact are. But one thing I think is wild. You got the Ravens as your number 11 team. I got them as the number 2. So that's an even bigger disparity than we have with the Bengals. So why do you think the Ravens are number 11?
Well, because they played the Cardinals. Physically, like the Ravens, I just don't know. But for some reason, whenever I watch them play, I just don't feel like this team's gonna be good. I still think they will be good. Don't get me wrong, but like top 5, like they could. Hey, they could be top 5, but like at this point, like Lamar Jackson, he's good. He still has to work on some things, but and then I don't even know who their starting running back is anymore. Is it Gus Edwards? And the receivers can't catch the ball. So until the Ravens can actually, you know what? Until Odell Beckham can catch a pass against a terrible secondary as their big free agent pickup, then they're gonna stay down for me. And I just put them up at number 11 earlier today. I was thinking about dropping them even lower.
Okay.
I didn't.
I feel you. I do. But let me explain to you why I have the Ravens at number 2 right now. I don't expect, to be clear, I do not expect the Ravens to stay at number 2. I have them at number 2 right now because, frankly, the way they're playing, it wasn't the most convincing win over the Cardinals, but they did get the win, and they had that huge win over the Lions. And I mean, they're what 5-2, 6-2, whatever. Like they keep winning, and it's really hard to argue with that. I don't believe it's sustainable. I do feel like they're going to fall off because they do it every damn year. Just like the Bengals start slow every year and then, get their shit together like we're seeing them do yet again. The Ravens do this every single year. I mean, it's a longer trend than it is with the Bengals. This is going back to Lamar Jackson's MVP season, which was 2019, 2018 or something like that. And every single year, I'm telling you, every single year, there's no reason to think it won't happen again. Every single year, this football team goes out there and they get off to this hot start, and then they barely make the playoffs by the end of it, and they lose in the first damn round. So, I do not expect the Ravens to stay at number 2. I want to be very, very, very clear about that. But right now, if we're just ranking teams as to who is the most powerful team, who is the most dangerous team right now, the Ravens are a very dangerous football team because Lamar Jackson is playing at an MVP level. And I hate it. I do. They're going to fall off eventually, though, so I'm not worried about it. But
yeah, I mean, for me, I get you on that, but the thing is, the Ravens, wins do matter, as Jeff said, but the Ravens, they're I think 6-2 now. Their 2 losses were against the Colts, who we destroyed, and we suck, and against the Steelers, who I don't even know if they're good or bad.
Okay, so there's a difference. Was that? When did y'all play the Colts?
We played the Colts on Sunday.
Yeah. So you played the Gardner Minshew Colts. They played the Anthony Richardson Colts, which were
Richardson played in the Ravens game.
That's what I'm saying.
No, Minshew played actually.
Did he get hurt in the Ravens game?
No, Richardson got hurt in the Texans game, so he had to sit out for a week.
No, you're right. You're right. All right. No, I'll give you that one then. I'll give you that
He
one
got
because
hurt a
the
couple
Colts,
times.
the
The second
Colts
time.
were a playoff contender. I felt like the Colts were a playoff contender when Anthony Richardson was the quarterback because he was having a really good season. With Gardner Minshew, though, they're not. So you bring up a good point about the Colts, but that's my point about the Ravens. They are not an amazing, incredible football team as far as the overall like they're so inconsistent, but they are 6-2, and they just keep winning, and it's annoying. But until they start losing, I can't really. Yeah, and it also helped that the Chiefs lost. I didn't want to put the Ravens at number 2, but the Chiefs lost, and what like the Dolphins lost like 2 weeks ago, so like I'm less confident in them. And then like there's the Lions. The Lions might move up if they kill the Raiders, which right now they are winning 16-7. So they've kind of exploded in the second quarter so far. Oh,
I mean,
it's
Max
the third quarter
Crosby
now.
did sack Goff in 0.2 seconds, so Crosby's still a demon.
Lions got the ball back from the Raiders. So if the Lions come away with a huge win, I might put them at like I don't know. I might put the Ravens down a little bit from where I have them because like frankly right now like I don't necessarily like number 2 feels too high for them. But you got them at number 11, which feels way too low for me.
Yeah, I feel like the Ravens, like, they're just like, I don't know, like, every single time they win a game, it's like, how? Because, like, I remember that Titans game, I didn't watch it because screw waking up in the morning, but I remember seeing that game. Justin Tucker was responsible for half of those points.
Yeah. Jeff says
And also the receivers still cannot catch a pass.
Jeff says the Ravens are as good as Lamar is. They look really bad when he does not play. Well, you see, that's the thing, and obviously when he doesn't play, because then they don't have like Lamar Jackson. But at the same time, this is my Lamar Jackson reflects the Ravens' results because Lamar Jackson gets worse as the season goes along. So that's the thing. Like he's playing at an MVP level right now. Is he going to be playing at an MVP level in Week 17? I don't know that he will be. We'll have to see, but right now I'm not. I don't think he will be. The Ravens, I do believe, are going to fall off, but until they do, I have to give them the respect because I couldn't respect my own power rankings if I didn't, bring. If I wasn't as objective as I possibly could be, I mean, like I said, Mikey's got the Bengals up at number 2, and I'm over here telling him he's crazy. And I love the Bengals. I love seeing the Bengals up that high, but like realistically, I don't feel that they've proven that they're number 2 yet.
I just feel like
I think
the
they've
Bengals,
proven
they're just
that
like
they're.
going on a hot streak. So
I think the Bengals have proven that they're back, but them proving that they're back isn't the same thing as proving that they're like definitely like a Super Bowl favorite. Like I wouldn't call them just that yet. But I mean, what's the schedule we got coming up? We got a pretty tough schedule coming up, and I've been saying I said after that really bad start that the Bengals had, that if they make the playoffs at this point, then they really deserve to be there. And like, I mean, I could see them going on a Super Bowl run because they're gonna be hot. I mean, the Bengals are 4-1. Frankly, like they started 2-0. 2-0. They started 0-2, and they're 4-1 since then. So I mean, that's huge. They got the Bills, the Texans, which the Texans are up and down, but the Texans are
I
still.
would have told you that they were going to come back.
Yeah, right. The Texans aren't pushovers. You got the Bills, which again, I'm still not sure how I feel about the Bills, but like they're not pushovers. You got the Bills, Texans, Ravens, Steelers, Jaguars, Colts. I mean, we got to get all the way to like week 13 before 14 before we see a game that's like pretty easily winnable in theory. And then you got the Vikings without Kirk Cousins. That one should be pretty easy too. But then after that, you got Steelers, Chiefs, Browns. And like we'll see what's going. I don't know what's up with the Browns right now, but I can tell you it doesn't matter how the Browns are because the Bengals just are never ever. We can't beat the Browns. I don't know why. We just can't.
That's how the Buccaneers felt about us for a couple years too.
Yeah. But the difference is the Buccaneers are really good. The Browns aren't good. We just can't beat them for whatever reason.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know why this is still stuck in my head. There's one time, I think right before we played in the playoffs, there's this meme where I had Drew Brees as a grandpa versus Tom Brady as a grandpa. We lost that game, but I remember, dude, Drew Brees, even though he threw a couple costly picks, man, I remember seeing him going off the field for that last time, bro. It was a memory I'll never forget. But as soon as he retired, we were like, Buccaneers, and just went on slapping them. Even when Brees last year, we were still slapping them. Yeah. Brady came over to Tampa because he wanted to challenge Brees. Man, you ain't no challenge for Brees. Get out of here. You're old self.
Fair enough. So Jeff asked, where do we have the 49ers? And I think we can probably go ahead and start wrapping up after this question because this is, this isn't like a full podcast, but Mikey, yeah. So let me go ahead and bring it back up. But I got him at 11, and Mikey had him at 5. So that's interesting. I'll explain my side of things here in a second, but I want to hear from you, Mikey. Why do you think the 49ers are currently the 5th best team in the NFL?
Well, because like the 49ers, they're on a bad streak right now. I'm not going to pretend like they are this dominant team that a lot of us thought that they were to start the year. But you got to think about it, right? Yesterday when they played the Bengals, if a few plays went right for them, they could have won that game. And I know you probably don't like that as a Bengals fan, but for example, like that fumble when Jamar Chase fumbled the ball, but it was ruled incomplete. And he returned it. And if that goes right, who knows? The 49ers might win or might get a touchdown out of that, right? And, there's also a couple plays in the first half where that could have went right. So I feel like the 49ers are not as bad. Because like, as soon as a great team like loses a couple games, it's all, they're frauds. Oh my gosh, they actually do suck. And I'm like, dude, teams can get hot, teams can get cold. It's all about who gets hotter when the time gets right. That's why I feel like the 49ers are still a good team. They're just not showing it right now. Well, they are showing it, but I just don't believe that they are a bad team. And even if they are not a bad team, I still think they're at least in the top 5 because they still got, because also Debo didn't play. So if Debo plays, that's probably a factor. But they still got Debo. They still got Ayuk. They still got McCaffrey. Purdy is good when he wants to be. They still got a great defense. So I feel like the 49ers, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. And they're still fine.
Right. Fair enough. I think that's a fundamental difference between how you and me approach power rankings, though. Because for me, I got the 49ers at 11, and it's because I'm kind of at the point with them where I'm like, I'm a little skeptical about you guys. Like, I mean, I still think you're a good team, but I mean, this is your 3rd loss in a row. And yes, if the Bengals are back, then they're dangerous for everybody. And I don't think we should like sit here and be like, oh, the 49ers lost 31-17 to the Bengals, because like that's a really good football team. If the Bengals are truly back, and this is not me being a homer, this is me being honest. If the Bengals are truly back, then the NFL needs to be scared. And that's not me trying to talk trash. That's me being honest. The NFL needs to be scared. And losing 31-17 to the Bengals, there's no shame in that, because this is a really, really good football team, and they're playing their best football right now. They almost did that against they did that against the Cardinals. They almost did that against the Seahawks, and then they just the offense fell apart in the second half. But don't forget that for the last, let's see, what would it be? For the last 12 quarters of not 12. Right. Yeah, 12. For the last 12 quarters of Bengals football, 9 of them have been dominant affairs. They fell off a little bit against the Seahawks, but they crushed the Cardinals. They crushed the 49ers. And they were crushing the Seahawks before the offense decided to take a nap after halftime. But for the most part, this Bengals team has really been back. And I'm not saying they're going to stay like that. Obviously, I have them at number 8 because I need to see some consistency. I want to see them prove that they're all the way fully back, definitely, and there's no question marks on it before I put them higher, because that's the difference between the way you and me approach power rankings is because you are very, very much like, I'm looking at these power rankings and I'm looking at like, are they overall the best team or are they overall the worst team? And like, I think you're approaching it from a perspective of, you're trying to predict what the power rankings will look like at the end of the season. Like what the, like, who will be the best team and who will be the worst team at the end of the season. That's what your power rankings, I think, are reflecting. For me, my power rankings reflect like, who is the most dangerous teams right now. That's why, like, do I think the Cardinals end up being the, like, getting the number 1 overall pick? No, I don't. But I think the Cardinals are the worst team right now. I thought it was the Panthers, and then they won. So, I mean, I can't say that about the Panthers right now. But I mean, I just don't like, the Cardinals are awful, man. And like the Colts are down there too, because like losing Anthony Richardson pretty much killed their whole season. It was so obvious that it did. And so that's why I look at power rankings the way I look at them. And that's why I knocked the 49ers down pretty far right now. Because yes, they're a really good team with a lot of talent and a lot of potential. But at the end of the day, the 49ers right now, part of the reason the Bengals beat them so badly was because Trent Williams is out, Deebo Samuel's out. Christian McCaffrey had a pretty good game, but like, he's dealing with like some injury issues on the back end. Brock Purdy just had gotten cleared from concussion protocol. So it's like, yes, the Bengals took care of business against a really good football team, but the 49ers, I think, are not like a top 10 football team right now. Like, they're injured and they're in a bad spot. Now, will they bounce back? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm not quite so much trying to predict whether they're going to bounce back or not, which is, again, why I have the Ravens so high, is because right now the Ravens are extremely dangerous. I don't think the Ravens finish at 2, but I've got them at 2 right now because that's the way they look right now.
Yeah. I feel like, because, like, yeah, if you look at my power rankings, you could assume that I'm trying to predict. But through my eyes, like, for example, like the 49ers, right? I just, like, when I look at the 49ers, they look like a team that is playing good. They're just being unfortunate, And for example, y'all probably thought, from how I was talking about my Saints, y'all probably thought I had them in Super Bowl caliber or something. But nah, bro, because my Saints, bro, we suck. In fact, hold on, where's the pencil? Oh, I gotta find the pen. Oh, here we go. Hold on.
I didn't think that you had them in Super Bowl caliber based off the way you're talking about in this particular live stream. The way you were talking about at the beginning of the season, yeah, but not the way you've been talking lately.
That's Pete Carmichael's contract down the toilet. Hopefully they do the right thing by doing that in real life.
Oh boy. All right then. All right. Well, anyway, I think like I said, this isn't a full podcast episode. I just kind of wanted to bring you on and talk a little bit about power rankings. It was fun. We should do it again sometime.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, I'm starting to do power rankings on my channel too. I haven't really done them like a whole lot. I'm about to get back. Like, I was gonna like release them like today or tomorrow or Wednesday. Yeah. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, that's where I think we're going to leave it for now. Like I said, look forward for my power rankings episode that's going to come out probably Wednesday, maybe Thursday. It just really kind of depends on what my schedule looks like. Ideally like Tuesday, but like realistically, I don't know if I can say that that's definitely going to happen. But anyway, yeah, so look forward to that episode that's coming out, and I'll have the finalized power rankings on that. Go check out Mikey and his channels, Mikey Saints Fan for Life, and then also Mikey Pelicans Fan for Life. You can catch more of what I do at Kyle Phelps 92 on Twitter, Facebook.com/ThePhelps, the Battle of Ohio podcast, which once again, that is not what this is, despite the overlay. And then my brain just completely turned off. The Battle of Ohio podcast. And right here, if you subscribe, okay. Mikey, is there anywhere else they can find you, or is it just the YouTube channel?
Well, like, you can also check out the Houdat Center. We go live there every Sunday. Well, we didn't go live this past Sunday because we thought that we were going to probably lose to the Colts, but we should be back against the sorry-ass Bears because, by the way, last thing, Chicago Sports Talk, Michael, and I'll say your name. You are one stupid hipster. You always take things personal. And when the Saints march into the dome, kick your butt, Tail. I don't want to hear you talk nothing about how PJ Walker better than Derek Carr. You hear me? Capiche? That's where we're going to leave it.
Okay. That's awful nice. I was going to ask you why you have the Saints, not the Saints, the Bears as the worst team in the NFL, but I forgot about that beef you have, so that's why. I mean, the Bears aren't good. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think they're as bad as like the Cardinals and the Panthers. But fair enough. Anyway, I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out. And until next time, I'll leave y'all with a who dey.
Who dat?
Yeah, the